Hey YouTubers, Johnny B here with another Blue Apron cooking video. Right now we're going to do honey habanero shrimp and potatoes. I know there's a little bit of a glare showing there. Here's all of my ingredients, and as always on the back side are the instructions. I read through these already. I'll just show you what they sent me for this meal. We have 2 onions here. This is habanero spice. It's smoked habanero spice. 2 containers of sour cream, these red potatoes, these 2 bell peppers. The picture shows red, but they gave me these yellow ones, which is fine. And then I forgot to put these down, but 2 packages of red onion. I also have my shrimp in a bowl. So here's the shrimp. I washed it already with cold water. I'm going to put this in the refrigerator until I'm ready to get this cooked. So I'm going to prep everything, and I'll be back once that's done. Okay, so all my vegetables are washed and dried. As you can see, this is how I cut the potatoes. I just cut them in half and then into quarters. I have more to do here. And the reason I'm doing this first is I get these cut, I get them seasoned, and I get them in the oven because these are going to take roughly about 20 minutes. This is the longest process in this cooking as far as time goes. This will take the longest to cook. So I want to get these started, and in the meantime, I can prep the rest of my other stuff, which hasn't been touched yet. But as long as I get these in the oven while these are cooking, I can prep and then get going on the rest. What I do is I throw these potatoes into a 1-gallon Ziploc bag with some olive oil, salt, and pepper, and mix it all up and then put it on a tray. I'll show you how I do that. And then it's also saying, depending on how hot you want it, I have 2 bags of this, so I can sprinkle a little bit of this in there. I can also sprinkle a little bit of that when I do the vegetables later. So I'm just kind of splashing in the heat on that dry spice of habanero, smoked habanero, incorporating it into the dish as I continue to cook. I'll be right back, show you what I'm doing here with the bag and the baking. Okay, all of my potatoes are cut into quarters. In this 1-gallon bag, I'm going to add some olive oil, a little bit of salt. It looks like a lot, but there's a lot of potatoes in here. So once you mix it, it mixes in good. Pepper, same thing. I already have my oven preheated to 450 degrees. And then this habanero sauce, or not sauce, it's actually a rub. I'm going to throw a little bit of that in there depending on how hot. I mean, if you really like spicy things, go for it. If you don't, leave it out a little bit, use a little bit. So I'm going to mix this up and throw it on a big baking tray. So this is all mixed up. I like to leave some air in the bag because when I'm mixing it, I actually use 2 hands and just shake it, twist it, squeeze it, turn it, you know, for a good 2 minutes. Make sure everything's incorporated. Then I'll throw it right on top of this baking tray. It has a little bit of olive oil there. But I did spray some nonstick spray on there, and I'll lay this out and put it in the oven. I'm going to throw this on the lower rack. No, I'm going to put it on the higher rack for now. And if they're cooking really fast, I can always lower it and lower the temperature. But we like the potatoes a little bit overdone, in a sense, a little bit crunchy. So this is why I'm baking these first before everything else. Okay, so all my ingredients are prepped while those potatoes are cooking. So I have green onion here. Now that's going to be for garnish afterwards, once the dish is complete. I got sliced onions here. I have the sour cream, and it is seasoned with a drizzle of olive oil, salt, and pepper, and mixed up. And then in here, I have the 2 yellow bell peppers, but I also put the onion whites in there because they're going to go in the pan at the same time, so I don't... Less mess the better, right? Why dirty another container? So if they're going in at the same time, I just mix them as I prep all this stuff up. One thing I'm going to do that's different from the instructions, again, this is what the instructions look like on the back of this dish. So what I'm going to do is, they said to do the onions first, which I will, then add these onions and bell pepper, which I will. Then it says take them out of the pan, clean the pan, put those vegetables into a bowl, and then try to keep them warm with, you know, cover them with foil or something, and then season your shrimp and then add the shrimp. So I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do the onions, and this. I'm going to saute all that down. Once it's about 3/4 of the way, I'm going to season the shrimp and I'm going to add it right in because all of this is one big mixed, right? It's all one big mixed dish. So why would I pull everything out? I don't know. I just, as you cook shrimp and you keep stirring it, it's going to cook through. By that time, your vegetables should be done. Now you have everything because you're going to incorporate it all together later anyway. Now, earlier in the video, I used a bag. You can use additional bags, but I use the same bag. I'm going to use the same bag here that I seasoned the potatoes in. This is a 1-gallon Ziploc, or it's a little cheaper than a Ziploc. I'm going to buy Ziploc going forward, these things. But anyway, it's the same thing. Salt, pepper, olive oil, and as much of that habanero spice as you want. Same with the vegetables, same with the shrimp. So I'm going to use the same bag and do the same mixing process and get things started on the stove with the pan. Okay, onions are chopped in the bag. I did use 2 hands earlier. Again, I leave a little bit of air in there so they can move around. I have my olive oil, salt, pepper, a little bit of the habanero spice. I heat up a pan of olive oil and we throw them in. Okay, so now that those are cooking, I'm going to take this guy, throw it in here, and do the same exact thing. Olive oil, salt, pepper, habanero spice. Okay, all mixed up and sweating down a little bit to break all that down. Now I'm going to put the shrimp in the same bag, same thing. I sound like a parrot, right? Extra virgin olive oil, salt, pepper, and a little bit of habanero spice. Get it ready. Okay, so I want to say the peppers are about halfway to 3/4 done. I take one at a time. Those can be a little bit stubborn. They take a little while. But they're about 3/4, so by the time the shrimp is done, the pepper should be right on par. So I'm going to add in my shrimp. Oh, let me change hands here. There you go. I'll incorporate that and get those nice pink color, and then check on the potatoes, and we should be ready for the taste test. Okay, this is done. Potatoes are done. This is why I put everything together. I don't know why I would have to do the vegetables, take them out, do the shrimp, take them out. Everything's seasoned with the same stuff. I could see if they were seasoned differently, then I would definitely follow those instructions, but this saved a whole lot of time. So we're going to get this into a bowl. We're going to top it with the green onions, scallions, and the sour cream, and we'll give it the taste test. All right, so it's taste test time. I did something a little different. I kept the potatoes to the side. Now the dish does show everything mixed in a bowl. Sorry about that glare. Everything mixed in a bowl. You can do it however you like. There's no rhyme or reason after you cook this on how you actually like to eat it. We do like to always kind of stick to what the recipe is, but we decided to just go potatoes on the side, maybe with some ketchup. And on top is that seasoned sour cream with salt, pepper, and olive oil. A little bit of green onion, scallion on top, and the whole delight there. So let's go with the potato first. Yeah, I put a little bit of the habanero in there, but I don't feel the spice. I only used one package of this because I didn't know how hot it was going to be. Different people in the family here all have a different tolerance for heat, and I didn't want to ruin the meal. I don't feel the heat, but definitely the salt and pepper definitely hits that. So I'm going to mix together a little bit here. And let's get a shrimp. Let's get a shrimp and some vegetable and give it a whack. Yeah, not much. Yeah, a little bit of heat. Very little on the back of my throat, top of the roof of my mouth, but not, it's hardly a heat. I can just feel it, if anything. Not bad. You know, I do like the shrimp with the onion and pepper mixture, to be honest. That's pretty good. Potatoes are potatoes. It's an easy roast, or bake rather in the oven. Yeah, you're roasting them anyway. I'd give this a 3.5 out of 5. Not the best I had, but definitely not a throwaway either. Now, one other thing about these food services, including Blue Apron, is they do have like frozen meals. So let's say, you know, you live by yourself or there's two of you and you work a lot of hours, you get home late, you really don't have time to prep all this stuff, right? You can just throw something in the microwave. They have really good meals. We've tried a few. They're filling and they're delicious. Not only Blue Apron, but other, I believe Marley Spoon and HelloFresh have the same thing. You can do that. Also, this will go much faster with two people. So if you have two people, you can have somebody cutting the potatoes while the other person is prepping. You can have someone cleaning behind you while you're cooking. There's a whole lot of things you can do in parallel to speed up the process by more than probably 50% of the time. So if this looks grueling, like, oh, it's a lot of prep and stuff, and sometimes it is. This one here was about, you know, I've seen some that where you prep a whole lot more than what you did here, but this was a lot of prep. So two people, it goes a lot faster. So a couple things to keep in mind if you're considering a home food service like this. Two people will go faster, and they also do have quick microwave filling, delicious meals as well. So I'm going to end this video. This, again, is the Honey Habanero Shrimp and Potatoes meal from Blue Apron. Home food service, and 3.5 I give it. Until the next video, folks, thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next video. See ya.